Hey everybody, welcome back to Doc G's Reloading. Today, I'm just going to do a quick video on the Area 419 Zero press, which is a 9-station turret press that is extremely robust, shall we say. I was going to do an unboxing, but a lot of people have done unboxings, and it's, other than it being packaged really neatly in some heavy duty foam, it's not all that exciting. So here we are. I'm going to show you so this has got the cover on it. I bought the cover for it, and you can see the grip up here has it's got a ball bearing on it, so it rotates in your hand. Really nice, robust arm here. And then we'll take off the cover. Really nice thick cover too. It's got a really nice thick like felt on the inside. Very high quality, nice cover. Fits all the way around the side there and the back. All right, so let's take this off and let's take a look at it. So this is the press, and I was quite astonished as to how robust this is and how nice this is. This is expensive, but if you're doing any single stage reloading, it's worth it, because then you don't have to swap out dies all the time. I do have an extra die that's going to go in here. It's going to be an arbor press for the 223s, because when you get a case like this where you've got you know, a mouth in the case that's kind of been stepped on, it'll get caught on this lead die and it pulls the rod downward, the swaging die for swaging. So I need to arbor those, take a little arbor die and expander die and expand the necks back to normal. So I'm going to put that die here. But anyway, let's get back to the press. So unbelievably smooth as this goes up. Again, I can only explain to you how smooth this is. Obviously, it's just amazing. And then there is no play. Watch this. I mean, there is no play anywhere in this linkage here. I mean, I am shaking really hard here and moving it back and forth, and there is no play in this linkage here. Any of the linkages, there's no play whatsoever. 1.25" ram. I mean, that could handle 416 Barrett. It could handle 50 BMG. It's pretty amazing. We'll go over, this is the hole here for the primers to go down. So when you're up and you're depriming, decapping, it goes down that hole there, so it pops out of the back of the ram. There's a hole back there, and it goes down this hole here. It comes into this tray. Now this is an aluminum primer, spent primer capture tray, and that fits in the side there, so it just slides right in. Now I mounted this on a quick mount, so most of my benches have the quick mounts. This is the inline fabrication, which I love. Fantastic inline fabrication stuff. I do have this arm and these bins here to hold some other stuff, but I am going to get, now on the back of this here, you'll see it's got this Arc-a-Lock on the back here, and I am going to get a tray. They do make a tray, but it was out of stock when I ordered this. They make a tray that comes out, and I can put all of this stuff onto that tray. So I'm going to do that. But this is incredibly rigid, incredibly robust. It locks down, which I like. It's pretty amazing. It comes with this, you know, torque wrench here. This torque wrench that does all the work for you. So you need this. So this fits in here too. So it fits in there, and you loosen this up, and you can adjust the length of this rod. So you can push it really far down as long as you've got the bench clearance. You know, you can push it really far down, and then lock it. Or you can, you know, leave it at its maximum length for more leverage, but this uses the same key here. Now, what's really nice about this press is that, like I said, there is no play in any of this linkage at all. They said it's rated for 1 million strokes before you have any wear. And then on the side here, you stick this key in there. You can see there's a key that it goes into there, and then you just loosen it up a couple of turns, and that's it. And then you can index your and it just positively snaps right in whenever you twist it. So, and then once you're done getting it in place, which is really nice, then you just rotate this back until it snaps right there. Once it snaps, you're done. You don't want to over tighten it, and then this won't move, and you can go about your reloading process. Now, they also make these die rings. You can see I've used them up here for most of my stuff. Now, this is my die for bulge busting, and it really doesn't need perfect alignment, so it didn't need one of these underneath it. I didn't need to put one on underneath there. Plus, this die barely makes it through anyway, so I just tightened that one onto the. Everyone else here has got all these other dies have these, and the engineering behind these is just incredible. I mean, they're really, really nice. So it gives you a nice flat surface for that die to engage the head. So that die is going to be almost perfectly vertical, about as perfectly vertical as you can get, probably to within 100,000th or a millionth of an inch of perfection here. And these engage really nicely, nice and flat. The threads are more precise than usual die threads, die ring threads. So I bought a set of these, and then they come with this wrench, and you have an open end and a closed end wrench, and you can see that's what engages it there, and you can see here this is what engages it here, and then you just put it on there and you just tighten it. So like up here, you got this die here, you can just slide it over and tighten it or loosen it, or you can use this side, whichever. If it's a big fat die and it's hard to get, you can't get it over the die, like a bullet seating die, or a bullet tipping die. Sorry, if you had a bullet tipping die, I have a bullet tipping die in here. This won't go over the bullet tipping die, but you'd use this side. So they give you, two sides that you can use. It just locks in there like that, and you just tighten it down and lock in the die. Like I said, either side for this die would work easily. But then you just snug it down. It's not there's no gorilla tightening or anything. And these aren't cheap, but the design and engineering behind them was so impressive. I got these before I got the press. It's just amazing. So this is probably, I think this is maybe even more impressive than my Dillon 750. I mean, this is, having done single stage reloading my entire 20 years that I've been reloading up until just starting to do progressive reloading. This is, I wish I would have had this when I first started reloading. I would have certainly gotten one, because the problem with turret presses is they usually don't lock down. So you get this slop back and forth of the head, and you get linkages that are not anywhere near as tight as this, and you don't get an 1 1/4 ram, you get a 1-inch ram. So this solves all those problems, and it's heavyweight. Like I said, it's got the Arc-A-Lock in the back. You can buy a whole bunch of accessories to put back here if you want, which is really, really nice. And again, I have no complaints about this. And what I like to do too is I love magnets. So I put a magnet down here, across here, and that just keeps a couple of shell heads there, or shell holders there, and it keeps my go no go gauge for swaging. So I just kind of set it there, and it kind of just, the magnet just holds it there so it doesn't move. So I like magnets. I put a magnet in here. Once I get that tray in the back here, the tray will extend out here. I'll have the tray up here. Most of this stuff here and this stuff here, at least these two, I'll leave this go no go gauge right there, because then I can just grab it and go. It's for primer pockets when I'm swaging them. I'm gonna just move all of that stuff to that tray, because the tray is, you can move it on either side. The tray can be upside down, and well, I guess there is no right side up. The tray is, you can mount it on either side. So you can mount it on this side with it extending to the right. You can mount it on this side with it extending to the left, extending to the right on this side. So you can just flip it upside down. It's the same on each side. So it's nice and thick aluminum, and you can mount it on either side without any problem. And then it just locks into this Arc-A-Lock and back. So that's a nice accessory that I'm waiting for. And once I get it, I'll install it, and I may do a little video on that. But this whole press is just absolutely incredible. I mean, if you're going to get into single stage reloading and you want to buy just one to do everything, Because if you want to do bullet seating, you know, you can loosen this up and, you know, drop it way down to here if you wanted to, just to get the feel for seating bullets. You could do that too. I mean, I do have a bullet seating mech press that I use, so I'm not going to be doing bullet seating with this, but I'm going to be doing pretty much everything else with it. Bullet pulling, crimping on 308s, all that stuff I'm going to be doing. So this replaces the Redding turret die that I had. That is nowhere near as nice as this. I mean, this thing is incredible. It's also incredibly expensive, but it's a incredible piece of equipment. Now, also, let me show you real quick. So this is your shell holder design, and you just unscrew this, and then lift up that ring, and then you pull this out, and it's got this little U-shaped. There's a U-shaped piece of metal there. See that U-shape? It came with this U-shaped thing here. Now they prefer that you use Redding, you know, shell holders, which I use. I use Redding shell holders. So, but what you do is, this isn't Redding. This is for bulge busting, but it's the same design. So then you just slide that in there. You just take this like this, and you slide this ring in here underneath, a little horseshoe ring, and then you just come up here. And you just set it, and this O-ring in there, it helps it so it doesn't turn. So there's an O-ring in there, and it just helps so that this doesn't turn while you're reloading, so you can keep it kind of oriented in the same direction that you're going. Because a lot of times, you know, shell holders will turn, and then, you know, if you're always pulling them in and out to the right, that little friction from the O-ring will keep it oriented wherever you kind of set it. And then you just take your ring, after you set that in there. This is my swaging die, so I'm swaging right now. I'm swaging some 223 brass. And then you just tighten this down, finger tight, and that's it. And that mounts your shell holder. So that's a very ingenious design. Again, just incredible, ridiculously smooth. Thought it was worth a video. So thanks again for watching Doc G's Reloading, and let me know if you have any questions.